short, Ping.IT is a help desk companion application for the Technology Learning Center here at Grove City College. If you're not aware what the Technology Learning Center does, they provide services for faculty and students that are having technology-related issues. We'd like to note that, contrary to every other senior project presentation in the history of Grove City College, we made an Android application, so we have that going for us. So we have a short promo video.
Tired of waiting in line at the TLC help desk? Ever been at home and had a problem you just can't solve? Sick of computer problems keeping you from doing your work? Well, now there's Ping.IT. Find solutions to common problems using the FAQ. Quickly connect to a help desk worker from anywhere. And when your equipment needs repairs, get notified the minute it's ready for you to pick up. Don't be bogged down by slow help desk interactions. Get Ping.IT and connect faster than ever before. Download now on Google Play.
All right, so if you didn't quite get exactly what Ping.IT is for, I'll summarize here. Ping.IT is made mostly to expedite help desk interactions with the TLC. That means moving users that normally come between classes in a peak rush hour away from the TLC, so hopefully they can get help themselves with the app. For students that do need to go to the help desk physically, hopefully this reduces their actual waiting time. And additionally, it'll increase laptop throughput whenever they come in for repairs. So the Ping.IT provides a helpful notification to hopefully get users through there faster. Moving on, we'd like to demonstrate who the users are for Ping.IT. So we made Ping.IT primarily for Grove City College students. They can use Ping.IT anywhere where they have an internet connection, and additionally the convenient notification that we provide is helpful for picking up your laptop whenever your equipment's ready. So, additionally, this helps the help desk staff as well. It's a quick and easy addition to their current workflow. It's just an additional Chrome tab or whatever browser tab they're using. And additionally, the system that we use to return equipment is easier to use than the current system that they use. So now I'll pass it off to Ben for a quick demo.
All right, this mic was making strange sounds last time, so let's try it again. All right, it's time to actually show you our app, so let's jump into a demo here. So we're going to open the app, and as you see right away, the app's going to log us in. We have a persistent login feature because typing your credentials every time you open an app is annoying. We don't want users to have to do that. So we're logged in, and as you see Zared talked about, we have the three main pages of the app, the FAQ, the chat, and the pings. So the FAQ is designed for students to get help with problems on their own. It's divided into broad categories based on problems they may be having. So let's say our computer's charger's not working. That sounds like a hardware problem. And here we see my AC adapter is failing. Pull that open. There's our solution. When we're done, we can go ahead and tap on the category to close it up nice and easy. Swiping over to the chat page allows students to talk to a help desk worker in real time. So as we see, there was one online admin, and when the user's about to chat, it's going to prompt them to type a sentence or two about their problem. And the reason that we do this is because we want to avoid it being like an awkward first date. Hi, hello, how are you? We want to get right to the point. So we are going to type, I have a problem very poorly, and that's going to go ahead and send our friendly help desk worker a message. They'll see it in just a second and get back to us shortly. Finally, the pings page is where the user's notifications are all collected, and as you see here, that took a second, as you see here, the TLC is able to send them any message they like. Your printer's ready for pickup, your computer's ready for pickup, or just general notifications like Windows 10 is ready for students, or the printers aren't working right now. And the notifications are ordered by date, with the newest ones first so users can get relevant information quickly. And because notifications are such an important part of our app, we wanted to make sure users could customize them. So as you see here, we're able to change the notification sound. They can add a resend delay. If they're forgetful, they can see the notification twice. Clear out old pings if they have them remaining from last semester or something, and log out when they're done using the app. So that is our application, and Stuart is going to talk more about how we built it.
All right, so real quick, we're going to go through the development and testing process that we used this past semester for several different sprints. Because of the inherently modular design of our app, we were able to evenly distribute the workload among our 5 team members. We utilized individual code branches so that we could each work on different components of the app at the same time, and then at the end of each week or at the end of each sprint, we could combine our code together and proceed to the next sprint. We also standardized on a code review process that allowed each of us to peer review each other's code, which allowed us to make sure that we stuck with the Android standards and best practices for Java development. Additionally, we utilized a system called a build server, which handled automatic unit and integration testing for our app and built the app automatically every week to 2 different Android tablets to make sure that everything was running smoothly. And it helped us catch errors before they became major issues from week to week and again from sprint to sprint, making sure that new code did not hinder any old code that we'd written. And finally, we also utilized the GitHub bug tracking system, which helped us categorize, track, and assign various bugs that we discovered, either on our own through development or through general user testing. And it helped us to ensure that bugs were fixed on time and before the next sprint in a timely fashion. And next up is Justin, going to be talking about various spec changes.
So, contrary to popular belief, we don't actually get everything right the first time. So, we've had about 3 months to work with our design and find a couple of places to make our app more intuitive and follow Android standard guidelines a lot better. So right here you see the action bar, that's the red bar on the top of the screen of every page. Now in this bar, we had a much larger font for the 3 pages that you could see, as well as a repetitive copy of the current page in the top corner, as you see over here. Now we fit Android guidelines better, guidelines that are set in the Google Play Store app and even in like the NFL app that have similar navigation schemes, by following their font size, font color, and by unifying the colors within the bar. As you might be able to see on these screens, the top part here and the bottom part are actually 2 different shades of red, which is definitely not standard. So moving on, we see our frequently asked questions page. Now originally, because we weren't too familiar with the Android tools that we'd be able to use on this page, we imagined that you'd have to click on a category and be brought to a whole new page before you could see the questions related to that category. Now, of course, you've been brought to a new page, and then you go over to start a chat with somebody. It doesn't really make sense as to which page you're supposed to go back to if you were to come back to frequently asked questions. Furthermore, if you were trying to find an answer and you weren't sure if your touchscreen issue was under hardware or mouse pointers or something, you would have to go back and forth between pages, where in our new single-page view, you can actually see all of the questions and categories all at once, making navigation a lot easier and more intuitive. For those same reasons, we've decided to remove search, once again, to make navigation a lot smoother. So, onto the chat screen, the first thing you see is a main color change. Now, the colors go from somebody's chat app to Ping.IT's chat app. That's because we're using colors that are found in our logo. They're within a material design color palette, which once again fits Google's standards. You see that we've removed the custom chat images. Now, we don't really want to have to deal with the ethical issues where to come about and you let users post whatever pictures of themselves they want. So, to make this a little easier on ourselves, and because you're just chatting to get your laptop fixed, we're using a default icon provided by the Chat API. And on the order of features that we probably should have thought of to begin with, a little X at the top where you can actually stop chatting about your laptop. Finally, the Pings page went from kind of a loose association of text on a screen to something that reads more clearly as a list of items. This is important because under the Google standards, there's a couple of gestures that are normally done with a list. For example, pulling down to refresh or scrolling, even though you might not always see a scroll bar here. Now, these are the design changes we've made throughout our own testing, but Caelan's going to continue to talk about some of the things that happened after users had a chance to see our system.
All right, so we decided to just prove how good our app is and do some user testing. So we got a good range of year students from freshmen and seniors, and we got an even split between men and women. That's the years we tested. Moving on, we designed it with people who are familiar with Android in mind. But as you can see from our tests, we actually got a lot of people who are not familiar with Android, so we were kind of worried that might not be success. Like, we might have some problems, but all of the users said they found it intuitive and easy to use, so we are very pleased with these results. On top of that, all of them told us it was very useful, and they were very happy with the app. And beyond that, further, they said they would be willing to use the app if it was available in the Google Play Store. So some changes we made. We forgot to have a email requirement saying what they need to put into their email. So we just added a small text. For the name, we just simplified the first name because you don't need your whole name. And we made the gear a slightly brighter color just so it's more obvious. So in summary, with the help desk is deciding on if they want to use it. We'll be hearing back from them shortly. We are very proud that the students found it useful, and right now it is available on the Google Play Store. So thank you very much. Any questions?
You mentioned several changes in the navigation of the FAQ. One of them was put everything on one page so users can quickly find which category they want. And then you said we got rid of search. So what was the reasoning behind getting rid of search?
So we had a couple of concerns with search. For example, when you type into a search, where are you brought? Are we removing categories from the screen, or are you brought to a whole new page? If you're brought to a new page, then we have kind of the same paging issues we had before. Now, we also were afraid that users might, if you are searching for frequently asked questions to find help with your computer, it's likely you don't know exactly what you're looking for. The situation that popped into my head is you have an issue with your touch screen, but you wrote touchpad, and you're brought to an incorrect part of the app, and your first thought isn't to continue navigating between the categories. Your first thought is to change the search query. This results in a user making 5 queries and never finding the thing they're trying to, where because it's a lot easier to simply navigate between all of the questions within our app, requiring them to go through the couple of steps of categories and then questions, they'll either find what they know, find what they want to find that it's not there, or more likely find other things that would help them, which might not have been their search query.
Did that come up at all in the user testing? Did you ask them anything about navigating?
So we didn't build that feature. This was all us
this was,
hypothesizing
yeah, okay.
before going into user testing.
Okay.
Did the school actually decide whether they're going to use this system or not? Because I talked to some people about it and they were kind of excited.
Yeah, so we did meet with the TLC executives, and they told us that they liked the idea. They wanted to, all wanted, of course, but the upcoming process where seniors' laptops are unseniorized, so we can take them off campus. They said they might be using it for that. That's actually happening in a week or two, so we weren't able to use that process as a test for the presentation tonight, but they're considering it. They haven't given us a hard and fast answer yet.
What is the TLC side of it? Like, is it integrated with one of their systems? Do they have who's chatting with what?
So currently, I happen to be a help desk member myself, so I work at the TLC. Currently, we have just a standard ticket system supplied through SolarWinds. This would effectively function as a secondary tab because we work through Web Help Desk, which is just a web browser tab. Our process would be a secondary tab for the chat system, and so if a user opened our app, they would be chatting with, say, myself if I'm on duty at the desk, or any one of the help desk members that's on duty.
And did you build that piece, or is that something?
That was something we built ourselves. It's technically not tied in with the TLC. Okay. It could potentially be tied in with the TLC, but for the sake of the projects this semester, we wanted to make sure that we kept it separated but usable at the same time.
But that is built.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
We didn't want to show off the website because we have a limited amount of time and figured it wouldn't be quite as interesting. So
You get a very pretty pop-up when someone wants to chat.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.